Let's hear it, everybody. Game number one, Hera versus Liereyy, and Hera is going for the Mayans here on Arabia. I think this is the first time we've seen Mayans, Aztecs, or Incas being featured in this tournament yet. Liereyy is going for the Mongols, and that's an interesting pick for me. If Hera were to go Hindustanis here, I think he'd have a much better matchup against the Mongols. Liereyy must be a little bit relieved, or maybe Hera's just saving Hindustanis for somewhere else.
Maybe. I mean, Mayans versus Mongols, what year is this? This is back 2001 in AOC.
Yeah.
Mayans, I've seen Hera pick them a lot on Arabia in events.
He's bringing them back, I guess.
He's bringing them back? Or have they gone anywhere?
They went into the dumpster pile for a while, but they're back now. I mean, they're still good in Arabia.
I think Aztecs have, but Mayans, I've still seen them picked quite a bit.
Yeah, Mayans are still a solid civilization on Arabia. The problem that I have with the Mayans against a civ like Mongols is that Mongols get access to the Steppe Lancer, and we've seen how good the Steppe Lancer can be against Eagles. Now, I don't know if Liereyy is the Steppe Lancer guy, so maybe that's the thought process with Hera, right? Lierey's kind of the let's go into archers. Maybe he'll add in some cav archers at some point, but it's going to be a crossbow type of play. I'm not certain that he's going to focus on the Steppe Lancer option with the Mongols.
Right, and it doesn't necessarily have to be Eagles, though, for Hera.
It could be crossbows as well.
He could be crossbows. They do have that discount, more so than Aztecs or Incas. Mayans really do like going crossbows. As much as I'd love to see it, I don't think we're going to see any type of fast castle into plumed archers.
I'll tell you how this game's going to pan out. Hera's going to end up going elite skirms from one archer range and defend all of the crossbow pressure from Liereyy. And he's walling really early as well.
And it feels like he wants to play really defensive, but if you look at the map of Hera, his stones are very far forward, and so is his main gold and both of his secondary golds.
No gold in the back either.
I mean, the place he's walling has just the berries. There's nothing in the back.
He does have very secure wood lines back there, which is beautiful. But the golds being so exposed is a problem, and Lierey's already here with the scouts. So Hera goes up 19 villagers, Liereyy goes up 17, and he's in Feudal Age lightning fast, which you can do with the Mongols. Stable comes up now from Liereyy, so the scouts are going to come out. But with the walls already down the way they are with Hera, Lierey's really going to need some archer follow-up pretty quickly in order to do some damage here.
Yeah, when you see how Hera ends up defending by that...
Oh, he thought about that. That would have been a sick trap.
He wanted that. He almost had that.
That would have been so good as Hera opens with the archer range there. No surprise whatsoever. He's going for an extra spearman. He's got a villager on the gold, but it's only one villager right now, so it's a little bit of a slower approach from Hera. But with the walls surrounding everything and the timing on these walls, it feels like it's going to be pretty secure, right? Like Lierey's not even done the archer range yet, and Hera's already walling around the gold so that Liereyy can't range it.
Right, and that's important. You want to go around the gold and around the TC so the scouts can't go in. And he already has the spearman out to defend against this early scout pressure. He was prepared for that fast up from Liereyy once he saw the Mongols, and he has the spear out. Oh, he's going for another trap.
Beautiful gate. If those scouts get in there with Lierey's micro, very annoying, right? He can stop the walls on the other side, but this is playing towards a fully walled Hera at like minute 8 or 9. Which is absolutely ridiculous. Obviously, you got a good map for it, but well read on the map position there from Hera to get these walls up in time.
And what did you say earlier? Hera thought Liereyy, maybe some other players could be really predictable, and I think he predicted this and went straight for the walls right away. I mean, could Liereyy have gone up any faster and Hera defended this any better?
Yep. And remember that the Mayans get a slight discount on the walls, so this will help them. He also got the extra villager earlier, so instead of 9 villagers start, it was a 10 villager start with Mayans, which means the eco is a little bit better. Resources last a little bit longer. You can see that even with the Mongol hunt bonus, Hera's kind of keeping pace with the resources collected as Liereyy now adds in some skirmishers with his scouts, and Hera just has one range. He can just make some archers, and if Liereyy wants to break those walls, he's going to have to really overinvest to do it.
He is, but I mean, a skirmisher opening doesn't feel like what you want to do to break through the walls. The skirmishers themselves aren't going to be like archers, and they're not going to be effective in breaking through the palisades. Hera, and look at that, he's not playing greedy at all. He's doing a tower immediately on the gold.
That's
he knows
an interesting
how
tower. Does he feel that vulnerable on that gold. I guess Liereyy could maybe range with fletching, just the outskirts of it, but if you're going to wall up like this, why are you already investing into a tower as well?
Well, maybe one of the difficult things for Hera is because he is the Mines and he does have the Eagle Warrior as the scout, and he's already lost that to all the feudal age scouts of Liereyy. So whatever Liereyy does, Hera really can't scout it now. He's just playing completely blind, and he can take guesses at what Lierey's doing, maybe seeing the scouts on the skirms, but he's not going to be able to scout it and confirm it.
It's going to be a really solid Castle Age time from Liereyy. He did not add any extra skirms. He only added 3 scouts, and he's got 400 food in the bank. And he already has some farms down right now. He's got like 10 farms or something like that. Or maybe 7. Okay, the rest of the villagers are on the berries there, but still, really, really solid uptime from Liereyy. And Lierey's actually broken through these walls. Hera's going to pop out with the archers, so the scouts need to leave. But good job from Liereyy reading the situation from Hera. Say, okay, you fully walled. You spent all that time and all those resources to get the walls up. I'm not going to make walls of my own. I'm just going to try and go to Castle Age as fast as I can because I can't damage you in feudal. He uses the market, and Liereyy is about to click up at a really fast time.
There he goes, selling the stone. But this is also Hera reading what Lierey's doing, and he has a very small number of archers. He's moving out, just anticipating Liereyy isn't suddenly hiding a whole bunch of feudal army ready to jump those archers.
Liereyy sold the stone as a group of 6 archers with fletching is coming towards his base. Now Hera's going to turn around. He'll scout the gold right there with his spearman, and he'll see the fact that Liereyy has a couple extra skirmishers, but there is potential for Hera to do damage as Liereyy makes his way up to Castle Age.
Yeah, and Hera's going to keep adding in archers behind this, so he's going to have a good wall of crossbows when he does eventually make it to the Castle Age himself.
Walls coming up from Liereyy at a good time. He's trying to delay these archers as much as possible with the scouts. He's got the, like, 1 skirm in that archer range or something like that, but the flag is there, so Hera's not quite sure what is in there. Hera goes in anyway. 3 skirms on the hill, a 4th coming to join them for Liereyy. No armor on those things, and fletching just now coming in, but still, it's 4 skirms on a hill. I'm not certain that Hera's going to really want to push this situation, especially now that fletching is in. And Liereyy will manage to defend himself even without the stone for a tower. He's also got the scouts back here, so Hera has to respect that.
Yeah, and here's where Hera just wants to save the archers, and maybe a bit tricky if he wants to keep them alive against the skirms. I mean, Liereyy is great at microing them, and they're both going to pull back.
Yeah, 6 skirms should be enough, right? Oh, he's going for a 7th one here, okay. And then what is the immediate play in Castle Age? Because Liereyy isn't the type of guy to go elite skirm to pressure. He's going to go into what?
I mean, it's tricky, right? If you add TCs to Boom, you might not like long-term the Mongols versus Mayans matchup.
He doesn't have the eco to Boom.
He doesn't have.
He'd have to buy the stone.
Right? You have to buy the stone back.
And then he'd have to spend all of his wood on 1 TC.
And we don't see a Vil going forward for a workshop right now to pressure.
Well, what with the
no, we do.
Excuse me.
I was looking at the front of the map.
There, man.
I was looking for the Vil to walk across the front of the map. He's already to the top of the base.
That is not a typical Liereyy play. I love that. 1 villager on a random side. It feels like more Mr. Yo style over here. Sneaky Vil over on the side, and that Siege Workshop is on the gold side. So if a Mangonel comes out there, it could easily range that gold. The tower is going to struggle against a couple, and I'd almost like to see Liereyy go for 2 Mangonels before he reveals this.
Yep, and that's what we said earlier about Hera losing that eagle. Once Lierey's he was tracking that archer army the entire time as it walked forward. He knew exactly how he could loop that villager around without it being seen.
Yeah. Hera's being so sneaky back here. And Lierey's like, bro, I know you're here. Let's see Lierey's line of sight. He's like, oh. He found him. He found him. He has identified exactly where the archers are, and he's got the skirmishers over here. Great play from Liereyy. Did not lose sight of those archers. So many players would have got punished by Hera for losing track of these archers, and instead, before Hera hits Castle Age, Liereyy hopefully is going to clear this up. A great micro from Hera. Oh my God. He's fighting up a hill there.
And Liereyy doesn't want to lose the step lancers to the archers, but he might be forced to engage.
At some point, you just got to engage.
I mean, does Hera actually win this fight?
No, there's no way. There's absolutely no way, dude. At some point, you just got to engage. Hera is going to realize that the micro here is just not worth his time. All the archers are going to go down, and it's not going to be 1. It's not going to be 2. It's going to be 3 Mangonels making an appearance near that gold.
And Hera's got to be wondering what Lierey's up to. I mean, do you think Hera expects Liereyy to do something this sneaky?
He has to be wondering where the army is in early Castle Age. So that's a question mark, right? But he's not going to expect this. Hello, Hera. Welcome to the party, pal. The Mangonels are coming out here. Hera can't repair this castle. He has to go for a siege workshop, and that is as panicky of a siege workshop as I've seen from Hera in a very long time. He's building with 4 villagers right now. The wall will die almost immediately. The Step Lancers are waiting behind this. There's no army at home yet from Hera. This is a fantastic play from Liereyy, and Hera hasn't really done any damage to Lierey's eco at home.
And Lierey's walled for the most part. Those crossbows aren't going to find damage right now.
That siege workshop's going to go down so quick. It's going to go down so fast. Those Mangonels are on the hill. Hera's hoping he can get 1 Mangonel out of there. The Step Lancers are still tracking the crossbows, and that's good pressure from Hera. He can't take those home to defend. They wouldn't do anything.
And those repair villas could be hit by the Mangonels too. Oh, that
Hera
was a nice
loses
shot.
the Mangonel.
That was a nice shot to pick off the Mangonels.
Liereyy does not have another Mangonel in the queue, though. And right now he's got 0 on gold because Hera is over near his gold with the crossbows. So Liereyy pulls that away to go for a second siege workshop, this time defensively.
But he doesn't have the gold to produce from it.
Hera doesn't have the gold to produce from it. So Hera's not going for another Mangonel. These Mangonels are just going to sit here. And even Hera, I don't think, can micro down 2 Mangonels with 3 crossbows.
Yeah, Liereyy at least could maybe sell and try to get a Scorpion. He does have the market still.
Pushing Lierey's Mangonels with 2 villagers is probably never a good idea, especially with Step Lancers behind. The villagers are dying. Another siege workshop from Hera, this time a little bit further back in his base. Still doesn't have the gold he needs for the Mangonel, though, and this time the second TC is being pressured, and Hera is on the run. What a start here for Liereyy in game 1.
And Liereyy able to go for that Scorpion, which is much cheaper than the Mangonel in defense, only against the crossbows. Here, Hera needs a Mangonel and can't afford it.
She is bold.
She is. Like, I don't know
that TC's got a flag on it, man. She's still going.
I don't know if she's going to die to the TCs or to the Mangonel fire behind it.
To the crossbow. No, she's getting out. She's getting out, dude. She's out of there. Hera's trying to defend. Liereyy almost gets a shot off. He does, and the Step Lancers finish it off.
This is absolutely great from Liereyy right here. Hera was not expecting that Mangonel pressure to come in so suddenly.
It was off the back of something unexpected, which he kind of needs to do against Hera, right? The one villager sneaky siege workshop. He gets a hit against the crossbows. Crossbows are coming from the other side. Villager still getting value because Hera hasn't sniped her yet. He might try and target her now, which he does, but Liereyy gets a big shot and he almost gets a second.
How does Hera avoid all those Mangonel shots?
Because he's a god. He didn't avoid that one. The Mangonel is still alive. The pressure is going down, but another big shot from Liereyy. Huge momentum here from Liereyy. What can he follow this up with is the question.
Yeah, I mean, look at the Vil counts now. After all that pressure, Hera's been on 2 TCs.
He's still ahead.
53 to 45 Vils.
He's still ahead. And that is just the build from Hera, the second TC really early, and the third TC coming up now. So great defense from Hera as well to withstand that. Liereyy, a weak Castle Age, right? Or weak Castle Age eco because he went up so quickly, is not able to follow that up. And to be honest, with the Step Lancers, he didn't get so much value. It was the Mangonels primarily getting him value.
Right, and not only was he up so quickly, but he also needed that defensive workshop in Scorpion at home.
Round 2.
Round 2.
Round 2. Third Mangonel on the way. Hera still in a better economic position, but he's only got 7 crossbows. We saw that couldn't really help all that much against the Mangonels. He needs siege of his own. Liereyy is safe at home now, but still only 1 TC. Although he's discovered the TC forward here from Hera. Maybe that's a target now.
And another hill there, as we've
got a replay
of the micro.
Yeah, we can see Liereyy trying to save the villager. Or sorry, this is Hera trying to micro down that villager. Dodging around the shot, dodging around another shot at the last second. Dodging around another shot. And eventually he does get hit here, but a fantastic micro from Hera.
Yeah, I mean, you'll take losing a few crossbows if you're going to clean up all the Mangonels.
Yeah, and if you notice throughout that entire replay, he had 2 separate control groups of crossbows that he was microing back and forth, dodging Mangonel shots. That is incredibly difficult.
And, well, here comes round 2 of the Mangonels. Another 3 Mangonels and a Mangonel at home.
There goes another villager. Up on the hill, Hera has to start producing Mangonels again. He's got monks now. Liereyy doesn't want to give him conversions on the Step Lancers for sure.
Okay, a converted Step Lancer here basically means dead Mangonels.
Crop shot. Hera backs up. He doesn't want to take a chance. That Mangonel goes down, doesn't get any value for Hera whatsoever. So Liereyy continues pushing. Fourth Mangonel, fifth Mangonel, sixth Mangonel in the queue, seventh Mangonel in the queue from Liereyy.
He just needs to get one good shot on the crossbows while pressuring the TCs.
Yeah, Hera's got to be so careful here, because if this snowballs, if he loses his monks, or if he loses his crossbows, these Mangonels can eat these TCs so quickly. But at the same time, for Liereyy, if he even gets like one Step Lancer converted, it's a nightmare, honestly.
Absolutely. Remember, the monks don't have redemption, so they can't convert the Mangonels, but that's what he needed, a shot on the crossbows.
Yeah, and there goes the Mangonel down from Hera. It does get a shot before it goes down. Liereyy dodges around that. Looks like one of the monks went down. Some of the crossbows went down, but it's only one Mangonel remaining from Liereyy. That was a great attack round on the Step Lancer. Where are the other Mangonels? Are they pushing forward to Hera's middle TC? They are! All alone, no support whatsoever.
He's making them from the workshop at home and pushing them forward. Don't rush the Mangonels with villagers again.
So he did want to target that TC in the middle. His other Mangonel gets stopped. Hera's still only on 9 crossbows, but it feels like it's only a matter of time before he mixes in something better against the Mangonels. Right now, he's simply trying to survive.
And Liereyy keeps adding Mangonels in both workshops. Soon, Hera's going to have to micro groups of crossbows against 2 groups of Mangonels.
Yeah, the Step Lancer's still not getting an insane amount of value for Liereyy. He's got a decent-ish food eco, but he can't really like get the upgrades, bloodlines, the armor, forging, nothing. And he can't really keep up production, right? So the Step Lancers are more to just snipe the occasional Mangonel from Hera at this point.
Yeah, the question is, what other than the Mangonels, what do the Step Lancers do here? They either get converted or they die to the crossbows.
More villagers coming forward. More vills coming forward from Liereyy. He's got some stone. I think these are more probably to repair the Mangonels as well. And I want to see what's in the other Siege Workshop, because I feel like he's... There,
3 more Mangonels.
Is this deja vu? This is the 3rd time we've gone there. There's 2 Mangonels inside, another one in the queue.
He's just going to try it again. But this time, Hera's going to have to micro on the front at the same time.
Oh, yeah. You know, logic would tell you that eventually Hera's not going to be able to do it. Experience would tell you that it's not possible. But Hera keeps doing it. He keeps somehow surviving. That was a big shot on 4 crossbows there from Liereyy as he continues looking for attack rounds. Hera's villager count still climbing. He's got enough stone almost for a castle. But look at this. Liereyy in once again. Say goodbye. 2 more villagers.
And now where does Hera take gold?
Oh, no!
Both of the golds. He's rushing to the Mangonels with the villagers.
He's charging. The vills are coming. The entire village is out here, and the entire village just got nuked by a big shot from Liereyy.
And the crossbows take a hit too. More villagers going forward for the Mangonel.
Fast Castle Mangonel, the new meta from Liereyy. Oh my goodness, he's got Mangonels on every side. Hera's losing villagers 23-2. Eco KD. Step Lancers defending. The attack rounds are on point here from Liereyy, but he does get the Step Lancer converted. Can he attack round it to death? Hera is busy over here on the main eco. This is an insane approach to the Arabia from Liereyy, and he does clear up the Step Lancer before the Mangonels go down. Hera keeps losing vills, just rushing up for them. But he's still got a vill lead.
He still has a 20 villager lead after losing all of those villagers to Mangonels.
And there's the castle.
There's the castle.
And Liereyy can see that. Liereyy can see that what the house is.
No, he can't. He doesn't have town watch.
No one's looking out those windows.
Houses have no line of sight.
More Mangonels on the way. He doesn't need town watch. He's got the Step Lancers here. 2 Mangonels coming up on that hill. Can Hera get this castle up? Liereyy pushing like a madman again. Hera's just asking, when will it stop? The Mangonels keep coming.
Oh, there go the villagers again, but you can't split the villagers like you can the crossbows. If this castle goes up, Hera secures the gold, wins the game.
You can tell Hera is low-key panicking here because he's got 19 vills in the queue. Like, he's still creating vills. His macro is insane, and his micro is obviously insane. But, like, that is not typical for Hera to have 21 vills in the queue at this point.
Oh, and he cancels them right away. Now he only has 2.
Yeah, now he's got a moment to breathe, right? So 22 vills, instant Imperial H, another big shot from Liereyy, 42-3 Eco KD, but Hera on the way up to the Imperial Age. What a game number 1 we've stumbled into.
And he has the castle up on the gold.
And like, can Liereyy do anything once Hera's in? Liereyy is still making Mangonel.
He's still trying to Mangonel 1 villager.
Oh
And he gets
man.
her.
Oh man, the attack rounds from Liereyy have just been so good, but the defense from Hera, it's just been enough. It's just been enough to survive. And Liereyy finally going for a second TC. I mean, Hera's making his fourth.
Yeah, second TC, but already down by 5, almost 6,000 resources collected. Hera's gotten a nice lead here, and he's just done such a good job. He's losing crossbows, but he's not losing them all at once.
Yeah, it's never quite enough. And Liereyy doesn't really have the follow-up unit for it. He always has enough crossbows to kind of deal with the step lancers, right?
Right.
And his own mangonels are kind of dealing with the mangonels from Liereyy. Lierey's kind of throwing them in against the crossbows and eventually losing them. And behind this, Hera, 82 villagers versus 68 from Liereyy. Lierey's banking up food. He's got 13 on gold, potentially thinking about imp for himself. But what are Mongols doing? If the Mayans get to imp and get bracer, suddenly you can't fight these crossbows at all with the mangonels.
No, you can't, and you can't fight him at all with the step lancers either. I mean, still the steppies, no bloodlines, no second armor, and even with those upgrades, it's still kind of questionable to fight Castle Age crossbows. Imperial Age, Bracer, Chemistry, Arbalest going to come in. Thumb Ring coming in now for Hera. Once he gets in, I don't think there's much Liereyy can do.
God, the micro here from Hera is so good. The micro here from Hera is so good. He's not getting hit by shots anymore, and if they are, it's only taking a little bit of HP. Another Mangonel pops out. He splits around that like a god. He takes out this Mangonel as well. He's converting the Step Lancer, tanks a shot, but doesn't lose the crossbows.
There's
GG. What a game one. Holy, what a defense from Hera, and what a push from Liereyy. That almost got the job done.
That almost did. You know, I wonder if Liereyy maybe goes up just a bit more slowly, doesn't sell the stone, can push and maybe get some eco behind, kind of to match what Hera was doing with his town centers.
Yeah, I think there was also some engagements. If you were to talk to Liereyy, like, I probably shouldn't have lost the Step Lancers there. Right, like I probably should have built them up a little bit more.
You know,
Maybe
on the other hand, though, Hera could
food.
probably say the same thing about a couple Mangonels here and there too. You could say it on both sides.
No, Hera could say that. I don't think it would be accurate because he's microing 3 different groups at once. At the end of the day, T-West, we are only human, right? As far as like Hera's trying to be Mr. Robot in AoE2, right, and be perfect, we are only human and we can only manage so much. And I think Hera did close to the limit.
And Liereyy pushed him to that limit. Mangonels on both sides. I mean, how many control groups does Hera need? 4 for all those crossbows?
Yeah, he needs a lot, right? And he's so good at managing 2 groups of units at one time against the Mangonels, as we saw. I mean, if Lierey's going to mix it up and do that well and almost get a victory with only going Mangonels, I want to see more. I want to see more. Right. I want to see more attempts like that. That was so sneaky. The villager was there just on time for that siege workshop at the off angle to the gold. And then he waits for 3 Mangonels. And at the same time he's pushing there, he's pushing in the middle with 4 more Mangonels. That is not something you see from anybody. That is very unique play.
It's not, and it's a great way to try to shake up that Mongols versus Mayans Civ matchup. Because if you just play that standard, I don't think the Mongols really have much of an option once the Mayans get to a crossbow match. Mass. Mangonel push is great.
Yeah. Well, we've got some interviews here that we did earlier with Hera and Liereyy, so let's get to know the players a little bit better.
Have you ever been to Hamburg before, and what do you think of the city?
I have, actually. I think I have been. It was one of my first tournaments, Nili's Apartment Cup. I think it was 1st and 2nd edition. I think I was like 15 back then. So it has been quite some time. But it was pretty nice. I heard Hamburg is a beautiful city. Back then I was at Reeperbahn, so you know I heard and saw some wild things, but I only heard good things about Hamburg.
That's funny. What do you think so far about the venue?
It's very nice. It's very set up. We're doing all the photos and videos and shots and emoticons, all that stuff. And yeah, it looks so far so good. The venue is pretty cool. We have a nice playing area, a nice stage. Looking forward.
For someone who's maybe not familiar with you, is your kind of AoE2 inception point and your journey, and then do you have like a favorite memory?
Someone who's not familiar with me. I have been playing this game for basically forever. You know, I'm still 23, so I'm relatively young, but I would consider myself one of the more experienced ones. I have been playing this game for over 12, 13 years now, since I was 8, 9, 10 years old. And you know, I've been competing since I was 14. With 14 I played my first tournament. So, you know, I have been around a little bit in the game. So, you know, I'm up there with experience-wise, but I obviously still have my mechanics in top shape. So I think that will be a good mix to describe me. And yeah, I'm just learning every day. I prefer fast-paced games, but, you know, I'm getting to know more the longer games too.
And then so 8 or 9, why Age of Empires 2 and not Counter-Strike? Or
My family brought me into it. First my brother played it, before that my dad played it. And at some point we had all our family members playing the same game. We were like 6 people, you know. My brother, my dad, my sister at some point, the boyfriend of my sister, the girlfriend of my brother. So we were 6 people going at each other, and it was pretty fun. Yeah, it was 3v3, like then 2v4s at some point, you know, we were mixing it up.
Do you have like a favorite memory of any of that? Is it nostalgia? Is it winning?
Some good memories definitely come from the family games we played. You know, back then we didn't have a clue about the game. We were just playing casually. So everything was like completely new, and you know, when I got into the game more, I watched better players and figured out, oh, that's possible, what is that? So I was just, you know, completely experiencing new things. And obviously the tournaments and LAN events are always something special. I will keep every single LAN event in my head forever. And yeah, those you will never forget. So
patch notes just dropped. What are you most excited about?
I read some through. What's the most exciting ones? Deers will be interesting. They're gonna like RNG it 50-50, depending if they're lurable or not. Not sure what I should think of that. It makes the game more RNG-like and less preparable and predictable. I like the change to the Deers in general, but I don't like the way particularly they made it. I think it's too RNG. What else? Some new units. We'll see how those play out. I heard some crazy names like Fire something, Fire Lancers, whatever. So that will be very interesting. And yeah, I think new civs will be added as well, if I'm not mistaken. And then lots of changes, so I'm looking forward.
Welcome back. Game number 2 on the way. Hera versus Liereyy. Now, that was an incredible game. Full of hype moments. I think Liereyy, like you said, was trying to manage the matchup if Mayans go crossbows, and he almost did that exactly. Let's take a look at the draft if we can, because if we're not already into game number 2, because I want to speculate on like what sort of approach Liereyy will take in terms of his pick and in terms of his map.
Well, all the remaining maps are very different than Arabia.
Yeah.
We have essentially 3 water hybrid maps and then 1 very different closed map. I anticipate him picking one of the hybrid maps here, where if he goes Migration or Golden Stream, potential usage of the Vikings to try to shake stuff up, maybe with longboats on Golden Stream could be an option. And otherwise, looking at that draft, everything other than Kuman's really good hybrid map civs. Lithuanians have that great start. Portuguese, just extra HP on the ships, that gold discount. Persians have the great start too. Vikings with the longboats. Lots of options for him. And I wonder if he's maybe going to be tempted to, if he wants to use Kuman's on Fortress, see if he can maybe get Hera to pick Italians on a hybrid map before he gets into the Fortress matchup.
The guy was just like, ooh, what's this?
I wonder if
kick us out, dude.
I wonder if the security know what they've signed up for when they get here.
No, I don't think so, dude. I think they're just as confused. I mean, I agree with you. I think he should go for one of the hybrid maps, right? He's so good on them. Vikings, Golden Stream, we could have potential. Hello, buddy, as well.
Hello, Jordan.
Oh, that was Jordan.
That was Jordan.
Oh, okay. I didn't think he would still be up.
Yeah, he has to do the interview.
How are you still awake? Oh, you have to do the interview, right? They sent him home yesterday.
Yeah,
He
they
was
saw him
sleeping on the couch.
They're like, that's enough, Jordan. You sleep.
Anyway, no one's going to be asleep here. We've got game number 2 coming up, and we have Migration, and it's actually Koreans for Hera. So this is a pick I haven't seen in a while. Can still be really solid on Migration. And oh my God, we've got big trees as well. What a treat for us. And on the other side, we have Liereyy playing as the Persians.
We do. Now, maybe we're looking at Hera's base. Koreans, great water civ because of their wood discount. It applies to their ships. And I think they're probably the best late game water civ because they have not just that discount, but also shipwright, which can make their ships even cheaper. So if you want to play a very water-focused approach, Koreans are one of the best civs.
It's not just big trees, it's like aggressively jungle trees.
Well, I mean, the players,
canopy,
they need to build a lot of ships, right? They need more wood on this map.
That is true. That is true. Liereyy playing as Persians. We're going to shift to the POV here as he's getting absolutely dusted by this deer, kind of trolling him a little bit. And he's going to manage to push that in. I agree with you. Koreans probably the best, if not one of the best, late game water civs. And one of those things that make them so dominant on water, especially on a map like this, is the towers along the side of the shorelines, right? If you ever get there, the range is incredible. And with the damage that they output, it's really, really oppressive trying to get back on water or trying to, you know, even land places where there's a Korean tower just sitting there already.
Exactly, and you end up fighting over the middle so much. Koreans can do that a bit differently with their towers instead of going directly for that scout monk play that you see from other civs.
And maybe if you don't have enough stone for a full castle, which happens so often, right? You place 3 towers instead, or 2 towers instead. It'll lock down a position. All right, Hera really micromanaging his buffalo. I notice he does that, man. He's just like constantly checking the food on each villager. He's constantly micromanaging under his CC, and that's one of the reasons, as we watch his POV, that his efficiency score on capture age, if you look at it, it is generally 1 or 2% higher on average than his opponent. And it is insane. Like, they have the same number of villagers, the same eco for the entire game, and Hera's ahead by 200 or 300 res collected.
Right, when you're as confident in your game plan as Hera is, you have extra time to micro your builds in the Dark Age because you don't need to spend all that time thinking. You know exactly what you want to do with your build, and you put your builds exactly where you want them.
Also, when you have like robot hands,
that helps.
Move at the speed of light. Like, you've got time, man. You can do all the things you want to do. My mind, Copium. My mind works just as fast as Hera. It just can't communicate with my hands in time. It can't get there. All right, so here we are. Just catching up a little bit as we have our small trees again. Let's get a cheer for the small trees. I'm sure a lot of you like the big ones as well. And we've got Feudal Age on the way for Liereyy. Feudal Age is coming in really quick.
But even faster for Hera. Yeah, usually you think of the Persians as the civ that's going to take that great Dark Age eco bonus and be the first ones up, maybe even going for that forward dock.
It's a forward dock from Hera. Now, is it forward dock galleys is the question.
That's the question.
Because that's usually what Koreans play.
Because the one thing the Koreans don't have is the demo ship line. And if you get into that fire galley versus fire galley war, you can end up on the back foot without being able to add in your own demos.
There was a set yesterday, I can't believe I already forgot who played, but I cast yesterday with Nearly where someone went forward dock galleys. I think it was Hart against Viper, I believe. And Hart went forward dock galleys, but he kept making galleys. And my thought process was, you go double forward dock galleys, you make your opponent invest in the defense, and then you just go around sniping the fish, and then you abandon it completely. And if you need more Navy, you can make it from home. But you take out his fish, and you force him to invest into defense. Now, Hera is going to go for a fishing ship there. Okay, I'm glad he switched. He's got it mixed up a little bit. That's unusual. He doesn't have the right control group, so he thinks he's making galleys probably from both of those docks. He's only making one from one.
There he goes. He's figured it out.
Added a second one, but the other one is coming out from home.
Those delays matter, especially against the Persians with the faster working dock. You're getting the time to catch up.
Also, we'll have to see how quickly Liereyy scouts that. He's going Market Blacksmith. It's a fast castle approach from Liereyy. Also adding in a couple fire galleys, so he will have fire galleys in defense. He just needs to scout this area. I'm not certain if these fishing ships have seen these docks.
It looks like the fire galley's sailing around the side, and he hasn't seen it yet.
So close.
And both the fires are going to be moving around the sides of the map. He's not investing into defense at home. He doesn't expect this. He's thinking maybe the fast feudal uptime is galleys from home.
Hera's got to wait for like 3 of them. The third one is almost out. He comes out to snipe the fish. And Liereyy is going to run away with these fish and realize that the fires need to come home. So both fires are on the way back. He'll identify the fact that those have to have come from a forward dock. And the fire has intercepted the galley. So Liereyy loses 1 fishing ship. And that seems to be it for the moment.
But Lierey's also up to the castle age. So behind this, he gets the 2 fires out and still manages to pull off that fast castle build. And we saw this in that Yo versus ACCM set the other day, where Yo, okay, he sees the forward docks, but he doesn't panic. He gets his own fires, and he doesn't let it disrupt his build order at all. He still goes up to the castle age.
Okay, Hera making his way past here. With Hera's micro, it feels... I mean, it feels like kind of inevitable that he's going to micro down your fire galleys, but Lierey's still getting a little bit of damage, and Lierey's managing to run away with his fish. I'm kind of on the lookout for the transport ship timing from Liereyy. I'm surprised he doesn't have one already, but he might be nervous by the fact that Hera already has a presence on that middle, right? So maybe he wants to be extra sure before he transports across.
Right, but at the same time, he is only in the feudal age. Once Liereyy is able to get to the castle age, he can add in the monasteries and get monks in the middle and then be a lot more secure.
He's only 15 seconds away, right? So, like, transport timing should be now, or 10 seconds or 20 seconds ago. So you can have the villagers on the middle the exact moment you hit Castle Age.
Right. And also, you don't want to let the galley mass get too large to the point where it could snipe off a transport ship.
Yeah. I think all of his resources, he's planning on all of his resources going into War Galley. He could also try to sneak in careening against the galley approach if he feels like Hera's going to be here for a long time. But look at his eco. Liereyy doesn't have a lot of food, so maybe that's not a possibility. Waiting for the War Galley tech to come in as Hera micros down absolutely everything. He's got multiple groups of galleys. Going to be much harder once War Galley comes in.
Much harder, but there aren't many ships out right now.
Well, it's going to be difficult now. These have a lot more pierce armor. They do a lot more damage, and Hera's kind of putting himself into a corner as these fires do quite a bit of damage. Hera repositioning his units so that the weak ones don't absorb the damage here. Liereyy trying to run away, and Hera splits off 2 galleys to snipe that ship. I mean, the guy just does everything right. It is incredible. Despite that, it is almost inevitable that you will lose your galley mass against regular fire ships in the Castle Age, despite how well you micro. The only thing Hera can do is run away from this situation, or maybe just try and snipe the fish.
Run away and add that market at home, and he's getting ready to click up to the Castle Age himself. And the important part of this forward is that Liereyy still is not on the middle. He's not been able to make a second TC, hasn't been able to start collecting relics. He has had to invest so much into these defensive fires that that's the only thing he's been able to afford.
I mean, it's not the worst situation in the world. You have a 3-minute advantage, basically, to Castle Age, 4-minute, whatever it is. More res collected overall for Liereyy. He still has fishing ships right now, 5 versus 4 from Hera. And Hera's primary production buildings are being attacked by Lierey's fires. You also cleared up a lot of that galley mass that he invested into, and now there's a fire coming forward. If Liereyy can get to the middle right now and find himself a safe spot, he should be in a really good position.
And we see that transport ship in the queue now for Liereyy as Hera is still microing back. And that's one of the nice things about having the galleys instead of the fire galleys, that you can micro against the fire ships quite a bit, and Hera is showing that off here.
Yeah, although the fire is at Hera's fish right now at home, the one he sent from the other side. So Hera's going to lose some fishing ships. I'm curious as to the approach from Hera here. He stopped queuing the galleys. He's got so much wood and gold. Could we see it, Travis?
The turtle ship?
Could we see the turtle ships? He's got so much wood and gold. What is that for if you don't keep queuing galleys? Is it for a siege workshop in the center?
I think you're right.
I would love to see turtle ships. He's got 400 gold in the bank, 1,100 wood. Could be a really good solution. As Liereyy comes over finally with the transport ship, Hera still 30 seconds away from Castle Age. Thank God Liereyy is getting loom right now. This could have been really bad for him.
Yeah, and there's the scout there also for Liereyy. And there are more Vills for Hera. And maybe we're going to see a Vill fight in the middle.
Yeah, Vill fight. Liereyy just got loom as this Vill fight commences. He loses the scout, though. That's so valuable. I mean, Koreans aren't really a monk civilization, but still, we've seen the scout have such importance on this map because oftentimes people open monks, and it's a TC siege workshop combination there from Hera. So he knows Lierey's going to TC around there. Lierey's only building that with 3 villagers. I think this is a really great setup in the center there for Hera with the siege workshop coming up so quick.
Absolutely, getting that workshop out will let him get mangonels and immediately start pressuring the TC. And
there is a turtle in the queue.
Let's go.
There is a turtle in the queue, so it's enough gold and wood for siege workshop, for a turtle ship, and Lierey's first TC is not in a good position at all. It's going to be targeted immediately by that mangonel.
Yeah, and Lierey's not going to be able to take that gold. And looking around the middle, there's a gold all the way to the left, but a bit far from where he landed to be able to take it.
There is still quite a bit of water control from Liereyy. So Lierey's been putting all of his wood and gold into fire ships. The turtle comes out, and Liereyy can just hunt that down with the fires. I mean, the turtle does decent damage, but still, 2-on-1, it's going to struggle. It just does not attack fast enough, and I don't think there's enough villagers in the world repairing this that could actually keep that alive.
Now, that's a bit of a waste there from Hera. Maybe getting a bit greedy, just wanting to go for the turtle.
That siege workshop, I just don't know, man. I think Liereyy,
don't rush him.
Liereyy just landed in the wrong spot, right? The forward docks are there. The scout and the villagers are likely to be there. You got to land on the side. You can't land in the middle where Hera already is. Yeah, jumping in and out of the TC now.
That Mangonel is still trying to pick off Vills.
And the Siege Workshop goes up. So life gets mildly more difficult for Hera. That is a Persian TC. Really tough to take that down. And, well, the docks are all dead now from Hera. So he has no presence on the water whatsoever.
Yeah, he has gone to stone. And as the Koreans, maybe he wants a castle drop, but could also just put that into guard towers.
Yep.
Maybe it's a bit risky doing the castle drop, seeing the workshop and potential for Mangonels already there, but you could just lock down the area with guard towers. They're great against Mangonels.
I think a couple guard towers would be really solid. Yeah. At the moment, does he need them? Probably not. And Lierey's going to get a 1-for-1, which is the best possible trade he could have gotten there. 2 Mangonels still working away on that Siege Workshop there from Hera. I would also love to see even more fishing ships added from Liereyy, right? He's got full water control. He's got 9 right now, but just keep taking advantage of that water because Hera is nowhere on the water. Doesn't even have a dock.
Right, and it looks like he is indeed going to go for that castle. How many Vills does he have in the middle? It's got to be like 6 or 7 at
Oh,
this
nice
point.
snipe there from Liereyy.
That's what he
Only
needed.
1 Mangonel left from Hera. There's another one. Liereyy does not get the 1-for-1. He's chasing after it with the Vills. Hera's going to repair, though, so good defense there from Hera. He's at 650 stone. Does he feel comfortable enough to go for the castle? He does. It's a little bit of a weird position. The villagers can't fully surround that, but Liereyy can't get the Mangonel out safely.
Yeah, that had to come down to Mangonel micro for Liereyy. If he picks off that second Mangonel, maybe that castle doesn't go up.
Yeah. Another Mangonel in the queue, too, from Hera. So he takes out 1. The scout is still working away on that. The fire ship is here as well to take care of the scout. And the Mangonel doesn't get the damage it needs. So Liereyy isn't in time to deny the castle, but he might be able to take this trade against the Mangonel from Hera. Mangonel from Hera is stuck. And Lierey's going to get this.
Unless Hera can find a way out.
Dead.
Down it goes. Castle goes up, though.
Castle goes up, Liereyy needs to run. And he's going to run to the position that he probably should have been in the first place. He's actually got a TC going up on that side, which is great. This town center will take a while to go down, even with a castle and a Mangonel attacking it. It's a Persian town center. So, I mean, not the worst thing in the world for Liereyy. He's still ahead on economy. Food is looking solid for him because he added a couple extra fishing ships with that water control. And score, obviously, really in his favor because of the Navy.
Yeah, now the question shifts to how does Liereyy deal with the war wagons? Monks usually can be an option, but maybe not as much for the Persians.
I think you just add like 5 TCs.
Just add TCs.
Yeah, just Persian boom it, dude. He's going to go for a monastery. Persians, like you said, don't get the greatest monks ever, but still, a couple monks will chase away the war wagons. And Hera has enough stone for another castle. Where on earth does this castle go? He's going to have to walk a long way if he wants to find those town centers from Liereyy, and I don't think he has scouting on that already. He's got to be wondering where these villagers are going.
Yeah, I think he just chases the villagers and finds the spot for the castle.
Lierey's resources are looking really good, man. Really good. The fish are helping him out a ton.
But how does he stop the war wagons now on land? He has a monastery and a couple of monks, but he's just going to rely on those Persian TCs not to die quickly.
Yep. I think there's a transport ship from Hera. I think Hera's trying to run away from his base with a transport ship in the north. He is. Okay. So I don't know if that was from before or if he made a dock and made a new one, but he might be thinking about even sneaky transporting villagers over to Lierey's base to start adding towers or make that castle.
Ooh, I would love a castle drop on Lierey's island.
Yeah, I think it's a bit risky, though. 5 villagers in a transport ship, that's more of a tower situation. Or maybe war wagons on this island. Could be insane.
Yeah, that's a lower investment, right? You just put a few war wagons on a transport, try to get them over.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think he's going to lose the transport.
Or
it can outrun the fires. If he gets it over here and gets war wagons on Lierey's island, that could be a problem. But
he
I
never
think
should.
It's gonna die. Yeah,
Liereyy should be able to stop that as long as he's paying attention.
Lierey's resources are incredible. He's about to click up to Imperial Age. Liereyy seems to always be first, except for last game. First up to the Imperial Age in most matchups as Hera goes for a 4th TC, this time on the center of the map. His farm eco is looking good. He's adding University. Almost has enough stone for 2 castles. Where does Liereyy place his castle? Defensively in the center there? How far forward?
There is a great hill in the center for him to place it on, but I think that is a bit too far forward.
Well, the war wagons are there. It's a lot.
Yeah, I think. I mean, even if he places it on the TC on the right, can Hera deny it with the war wagons?
I love the fact that Vodka, he's locked in, dude. He's following that transport. Because that's what I've been looking at on the minimap, and I think the transport just went down. No potential of any shenanigans there from Hera. He's got enough stone for 2 castles. Lierey's got 4 monks here. They're trying to convert the war wagons. Hera doesn't want to lose those, and he only loses 1 of them. Imperial Age is still a minute away from Liereyy, and there's currently not a great castle spot for him. There's a great castle spot for Hera, though. War Wagons controlling this front side. Liereyy can do nothing about that.
Absolutely nothing, not with the war wagons there. And the war wagons, with that free Pierce armor they get now, they can just sit under that TC.
And they are doing it. They are perfectly comfortable. They found their safe space right underneath the TC of Liereyy, and Liereyy can't do anything about it. The monks pop out on the other side, and they have to pop back in again.
They can't get a conversion there.
TC is slowly killing these war wagons, but it's fine. He'll sacrifice that to get the castle up.
Yeah, no problem. And then without a castle of his own, Liereyy, what does he do to stop that castle? It's not like he can just go into a Treb war here.
No, he gets another one converted. War wagon count is down to 8 for Hera, and that is the ugliest castle, panic castle I've ever seen from Liereyy. He tries to build this.
War wagons on their way in, and there's another castle from Hera. Another castle. He keeps the vills on stone, and he keeps pulling out more and more castles. And I think he has more vills building than Liereyy does at this point. Lierey's lost so much.
We've heard of the Persian douche, but Hera's reversing it with a castle right on the TC from Liereyy, within range of the TC. Lierey's trying to go for a castle in the north here. Hera, will he get this castle up? The TC should be able to range those villagers, but it's busy with the war wagons first. Liereyy forced to delete that castle. He can't do anything with his earlier imp time. Hera still just chilling in the castle.
Man, Hera made that castle so far forward, he can't even hit the TC with it. He needs murder holes, I think.
I've never seen a castle quite like that one, but Hera, like we said for the longest time, he had the stone. Wow, what a position there for Hera. Liereyy being as sneaky as he possibly can, trying to add a TC over here, but Hera has the outpost. So Hera knows. Hera knows.
He sees everything now. Even without the water control, he has all the vision on land from those outposts.
Like where do you... Liereyy has full water control. Where do you even go with the castle? You have enough stone for
He can't spend the stone. I mean,
No.
you can't... Unless he builds the castle on the water, there's nowhere he can place it now.
He can't spend the gold. He can't spend the food. I think the only thing he might be able to do is like some cannon galleons or something like that, because right now he does not have a foothold on this island. I think Hera's even attacking him with a mangonel from the north of that TC too. He's got him completely surrounded. Come out with your hands up. The villagers in the Persian TC.
The villagers can't run anywhere there.
Are
War
ejected.
wagons on one side, a castle on the other, a mangonel on the other.
And it's 120 vills from Hera, and it's another castle from Hera over on that sneaky TC from Liereyy on the side. Hera is just approaching this in such an unorthodox way with the Koreans. Just full castle age, right? Gave up on the water, hasn't seen a single tower yet. And Liereyy is just being pushed off. He's being bullied off of this middle area.
Okay, and we do have cannon galleons now for Liereyy, but that's probably going to be all he can do. And going forward on the water, Persians, you're at the point of the game, they don't have Bracer.
Yep.
They're not going to be a good water sieve, and Koreans, as we said,
room.
perhaps the best water sieve in the game if you want to redock and take the water with galleons.
Yeah, and you can't even play, if you're Liereyy, you can't even play towards the water wing condition, because the Koreans can always just go for towers, and they'll get their docks up, and they'll beat you, and they have more access to res as well. So this is such a difficult situation for Liereyy. He's going to see that forward dock from Hera. If Hera keeps building forward docks everywhere, there's not much Liereyy can do about it. Fast fire is on the way. He has no presence on this middle area. Maybe he does on the right side there.
Maybe
he does.
That castle doesn't go up. There are too many war wagons there.
But the skirms, T-West.
There aren't that many skirms there.
Yeah, Hera doesn't notice it yet. I think he's locked onto retaking the water, and he hasn't fully noticed that area, and now he's trying to kick Liereyy off that left side. Liereyy getting the castle up finally. Hera still not up to Imperial Age.
And that's going to come back to bite Hera, because he could have denied that castle.
He's got 137 villagers. There's no reason he shouldn't be up to him now, and now he's focusing on it.
Yeah, now we see the resources being managed to click up. And War Wagon's trying to take out that TC. Still not aware of that castle.
Yeah, he saw it before. He didn't stop to check it out, though.
Is he trying to dodge arrows with that ram?
Yeah, Redox coming up here from Hera with towers behind. So he's going to get back on water. He already has control over the land. If Liereyy invests everything to take control of the land, he's going to lose everything on water. And right now, all of his stuff is along the shoreline.
Right, and the more he invests into those cannon galleons, the more he's going to lose on the water.
Yeah. No, that's, you know, good job from Hera to try and get back here. He's going even herbal medicine with Koreans, which is something we don't see very often to heal up the war wagons and the castles. Liereyy constantly trying to get whatever good trades he can as he takes out the castle with the cannon galleons. That could be really sweet.
4 cannon galleons, that is a good number of ships there to take out the castles.
Murder holes from Hera so the fires can't sit underneath the towers on the shoreline.
Perfect.
Classic, man. Holy. Can Liereyy come back in this? Hera's once again has enough stone for 4 castles.
It's that Imp versus Castle Age timing right now that makes Liereyy, maybe he could win some Tread fights and take out castles, but he's really on a timer to take out castles.
Is the MTC the one at home from Hera? I believe it is, right? I think it is. Yeah.
Hera's going to do that safely, right?
Okay.
We're looking at Hera, we're not looking at Doubt.
Yep. True. As the skirmishers are just simply sitting underneath the town centers. They have the full armor upgrade, so this is something from Liereyy. Hera doesn't want to toss away his war wagons, and that was some great micro from Liereyy to dodge that shot. He dodges that shot as well, doesn't take any damage, and now he's taking out some of the war wagons, and crucially distracting Hera because it looks like he's trebbing down the castles from Hera over on the side. Lierey's starting to clear this up, T-West.
And Hera doesn't have a presence to repair those castles anymore. He doesn't have Vils over there, and he's probably going to lose those castles. Liereyy will get access to the land, and finally he's been able to spend all those resources he had been amassing for a while.
These 2 games have been so wildly different from my expectation on how this set was going to play out, right? Like, you would expect it would be meta, build an army, everyone's going up to the age ups at the same time, but for this game, it's been Hera with an all-in Castle Age approach. He finally reaches Imperial Age. Lierey's still 0 on gold at the moment, but he's fighting back with random cannon galleons, random treads from different angles. He's trying to dive under TCs with skirms. It's just a very unorthodox approach, and I love it.
Yeah, and 0 on gold for a while hasn't really been that bad for Liereyy because he can just go elite skirm against the war wagons.
Yep.
And right now, the only unit that Hera has, Liereyy has a trash unit that counters it.
Oh, big shot. Finally caught up with him. Another big shot. The Mangonel's going crazy over there, and Lierey's going to have to repopulate his entire army of skirmishers as that Mangonel takes them out. Wow, that thing has like 15 kills, I think.
And that might be the difference between winning a fight against the war wagons and needing to retreat, as Hera gets a bit more map presence there. And he's starting to get back on the water
Liereyy,
around the docks at home.
Brother, put some villagers on that gold to the right. He's got no vills on gold. He doesn't even have a mining camp there. He's got 1 vill on gold. That's it. No urgency for Liereyy, but he does have 3 trebs. He's already taken out, what, 3, 4 castles from Hera? As Hera makes the play to go back on the water. And classic Persian TC, still alive somehow over on that side.
Now the villager is protected from the treb shots. And well, 3 trebuchets for Liereyy. He can push forward. And against the skirms, what does Hera do right now?
I think he's going to go skirms of his own, probably. I think that's the idea here. And
Koreans will have better skirms, of course.
Yeah, you only need to get the Elita upgrade at this point, and it'll be Shipwright and Elite Skirm.
But he's already down so far in skirm numbers. We have, what's that, 32 skirmishers out for Liereyy. It's going to take a long time for Hera to catch up.
It's also going to take a long time for Liereyy to push this, though. Like, Hera's got a bunch of buildings in front of that. He's on water, so Lierey's going to be distracted. At some point here, Hera's building docks literally everywhere. And, wow, Liereyy didn't have ballistics that entire time. It's just now coming in.
And Hera getting shipwright. He is getting shipwright, and his ships are going to be extremely cheap to get back on the water.
Persian TC finally goes down on this side. Liereyy has nothing over there. Those villagers are going to need to either run or die, and to be honest, I think it's probably going to be the second option. Liereyy also has to transport Vils off its main island. That eco is looking rough for Liereyy on the main island. Every wood chopper is running the distance. These ones are running to their death. There's a line of bodies there.
But at the same time, Lierey's still pushing. He still has a good number of skirms, and Hera needs to get his skirm numbers up. He has good production in the queue, but they're going to die as they come out of the ranges.
Wow. This has turned into a game. I thought Liereyy was completely done a couple minutes ago, and he's actually pushed back quite a bit. He's got decent control over this middle island. Hera's still with the relic advantage right now. He's got 3 of them, and Hera's still pushing on water. And like you said, Shipwright on the way in as Hera still trying to hold this TC position while he builds up his own skirms.
Yeah, if Liereyy has a chance, though, I think he needs to win this on land and not on the water.
Yes.
It's just inevitable that the Koreans will take that advantage.
Second town center, right over the foundation of the previous one as Liereyy tries to take out the bomber cannon. He gets it.
And that's crucial. That'll keep the trebuchet alive. And Hera has 2 cannons in the queue and a lot of resources to produce more cannons.
Can we quickly get a look
gold
at Leary's home island just to see like what's going on over there? Oh man, he's gonna have to transport. But if Hera takes over water, there's gonna be so much Viziko just idled at home.
And he has that transport still alive, but nothing he can do with it now that Hera just pushed in along with Coast, unless he can sneak it.
And the trap goes down. So the second TC survives. Hera has managed to defend on that side. Hera is taking over the water in front of Lierey's base. Liereyy is now going for the cavalry armor, but Liereyy needs more farms set up in the center. He needs to evacuate his villagers somehow. I don't know how. And he calls it GG. He can't do it. I mean, he put up a good fight there. Hera really went all in Castle Age. It was an impressive push from him. The double castle, especially the castle stack against the TC, was insane. And he just kicked Liereyy off. Liereyy couldn't come back.
Yeah, and it felt like Liereyy he had all those resources and never had the timing. The war wagons came out just as Hera wanted them. And there was pretty much nothing Liereyy could do. He felt so helpless with all those resources in his bank and nowhere to place the castle, no production facilities to make units.
Hera did an excellent job managing space there. And he took it away from Liereyy. But I come back to the landing early from Liereyy. You know the 2 forward docks are there. You know the villagers are there. You know that scout is there. I think you have to land to the side. And that's just one of those little things that maybe is experience with migration, right? Experience with the forward dock strat to learn that aspect where you need to go to the side so that you're safe from the first push from Hera and Castle Age. Because the Mangonel absolutely destroyed the forward TC.
Absolutely, right? We saw them both get up at the same time. It was a TC from both, but a workshop immediately from Hera. And that Liereyy just never could recover from that.
No. But, I mean, still, phenomenal game. Really, really fun. You were right in saying that Liereyy just couldn't do anything with his resources because he literally couldn't do anything with his resources. Unless he wanted to text Savar at home and then transport them all across, there was nothing he could do. So it must have been incredibly frustrating for him. Anyway, 2-0 for Hera so far in this best of 5. We still have the home map remaining from Liereyy. It's Fractal. And on the Hera side, we have Fortress and Golden Swamp. So 2 civs marked off the list for both players, Mayans and Koreans, Persians and Mongols for Liereyy. Where do you think we're going?
Ooh, I think Liereyy picks a home map and goes for Fractal.
Okay. And civ-wise, is it Portuguese?
It's Portuguese or Lithuanians. Okay. You're not going to use Vikings here. The longboats he's probably saving for Golden Stream if he's going to use them at all. Humans are the pick for Fortress. It's going to be one of Portuguese or Lithuanians.
Portuguese or Lithuanians, okay.
And for Hera, maybe I would think maybe Britons could be a pick here. Maybe.
I don't know, man.
He's got to use them somewhere.
I don't know, man.
Unless he just wants to put them there to mess with us.
Is pretty good. Well, it could also be, like, if he wants to play Italians on Fortress.
Which is what I think he wants to do against the Cumans. Unless he's thinking maybe Britons could be good against the Cumans on Fortress, too.
Britons could be good against the Cumans, but then what if the Cumans just go Rams? That's kind of the question with Britons, right? Does my opponent have Siege Ram?
And the Cumans very much do.
I'm in danger. I am in danger. I mean, I would love to see the Britons, man. It feels like it's been so long since I've seen them. And it feels like they're such an iconic civ. I would love to see them picked here. So I'm kind of cheering for Hera to do that. I'm not certain if it's a good idea. But if we go to Fractal, and it's not Italians, if he wants to save that for Fortress, I think there's actually a possibility for Khmer on Fractal. With some sort of fast castle siege push, like with the Scorpions or something like that, could be really, really strong.
Right, and there's no way to run away from. There's nowhere to run away from the Scorpions.
No, you got to chop
Fractal.
You got to chop through. Yeah, and Khmer we know can just pull an outrageous FC, but you also have to add the fish. It feels like on that map, right? So maybe that puts you too far behind in timing initially, even though you will have the food extra. And also the water element kind of plays against a land-based civ like Khmer. Game number 3 is coming right up here, folks. We've got Liereyy versus Hera. Liereyy needs to do something. He's down 2-0. And we are indeed going on to Fractal, and it's going to be Italians for Hera. It's going to be Lithuanians for Liereyy, and immediately the lame is coming out.
Hera. Immediately we load in, and we're about a minute into the game, and the first thing we see is a scout taking an elephant.
Does Liereyy see that? Did he see where the elephant was on his point of view? We see the scout coming in right now from Hera. He's probably not going to screw up that lame. We're going to track it, though.
No, he's
probably not going to screw it up. He's probably not going to screw it up. I think Liereyy saw that elephant disappear. He's not tracking it right now, but I think he saw the elephant.
And Hera already has his own elephant at home, so this is just the most perfect start he could have hoped for. He has the lumber camp in the right spot. He's chopping through, and he grabs both elephants.
Yep, and now he goes to push the zebra. So Hera is going to have an outrageous amount of food. The question is, what does he do with it, right? Does he go fast feudal into water pressure, or does he feel confident enough to take this food and go for like a fast castle approach with the Italians?
Ooh, that could be interesting with the Italians going for a castle drop. Again, they do have a good unique unit, and we'll have a good fish boom behind it.
Okay, so we switch to a winter wonderland and then back to this desert terrain. From Fractal, we've got Liereyy still managing to have a decent amount of food. I think Lithuanians, if you're going to have any civ to manage being lamed, Lithuanians is probably a good one. You get the extra 100 food right off the rip. And it should be manageable for him to get to the feudal age. I'm not sure about consistent food income once he gets there. It's going to be tough.
And one thing Hera didn't do with the laming that you see sometimes on this map is send a Vil forward also to kill the zebras.
Yeah.
So Leary's able to push them in and maybe make up for some of the lost food from that elephant while also benefiting from that 100 food at the start.
Honestly, I think Hera's too greedy for that. Like, he'll lame with the scout, but then he's like, villager worth of idle time? Nah, I'm good.
Now he wants the Vil working at home.
Yeah, exactly. Mining camp now coming up from Liereyy in a really satisfying position there between the gold and the stone, as he already went for the barracks, and he is going to click up here. So he's managed it really well. 0 seconds of idle TC time after losing the 400 food from that elephant, and he still has some deer left over. Meanwhile, I mean, it's just a buffet underneath the TC from Hera as Liereyy opens with some militia. So is this like a 2 militia drush into archers or something? That's wild considering he lost the food.
Yeah, and it's wild that you go for the barracks this early instead of the dock. Because you usually want to dock and do the fishing ships.
I get it, Vodka. I get it. He's going fast castle. He keeps hovering over everything. He's like, no loom, Dave. 5 Vils in the queue, Dave.
Doing the mill. Wait, did either of these players dock yet? Looks like Lierey's
going to dock,
just doing it now.
Hera's just going for a fast castle approach here, and he doesn't have loom, so Liereyy might be calling him out on this, going for the militia, and Hera has a weak scout. So Hera not being in feudal age, or not being up to feudal age and having a weak scout doesn't want to go forward with that, which is kind of crucial, right? Lierey's coming across with these 3 militia. Hera's going to have his scout over there, but it's going to be a little bit weaker, and let's see when he identifies this, because he might go for loom right away. He does see it. Wow. Great job from Hera.
Right, and doing the drush there is a bit of a way to take advantage of that weak scout, because the scout won't be able to engage as early in the militia fight as he'd want to.
Feudal age kicks. Hera needs to run. Loom is on the way in. I don't think Liereyy gets this villager, but a few moments of panic here for Hera as he loses that scout, so he'll have no idea what the follow-up is for Liereyy, and Hera needs to abandon the gold as well. Liereyy is getting men-at-arms. Okay, so he could maybe pressure through on that upper wood line with these men-at-arms. He's already denied the gold from Hera.
Yeah, men-at-arms not something we see that often these days at this level, but still, it's going to apply a lot of pressure if Hera can't get quick walls down.
We're about to see him with the next patch quite a bit, so get comfy with this one. Get comfortable with this one, folks, as the men-at-arms upgrade kicks. The one villager is going to go down to the scout. Liereyy very skillfully dodges the arrow fire, but doesn't dodge it that time.
That's a lot of weak Vils, but the Vils aren't going down.
Yeah, nothing to show for it other than a little bit of idle time as Hera goes up to the feudal age. Hera, the gold situation for Hera is not looking good. 69 gold is nice, I suppose, but it's not enough to go up to the castle age.
No, it's not, and that has disrupted the fast castle right now. Hera could try to maybe sell something at the market if he really wants to go up, but he's going to need wood for the buildings at this point too.
Yeah, he's going to need wood for the buildings. He almost has enough food, but only 2 on food currently. And that's on the berries. So, like, that's the fishing ship and the villager fishing over there. There's nothing on the berries. So he can't really afford to sell food in this situation. He is Italians. I know it's cheaper Castle Age, but still... This is not as smooth as Hera would have liked, and the archers are now coming from Liereyy. I can see he's producing a couple at home as Hera tries to wall up this villager. He doesn't get it.
But
these men-at-arms get so close, and then they just stop.
Oh, he's trying to block. That's why Liereyy wasn't trying to attack there. He was trying to get in front and block, but wasn't quite able to do it.
Can we take a look at the overall HP on some of these villagers from Hera? Because if these archers get in to that wood line, we could see some snipes back there.
There are some weak villagers.
There are some weak villagers in the back.
1 archer in.
If this guy doesn't die, I'm not uninstalling because he's going to survive.
No, the archer's going to block. The archer's going to block. This will be close. There he
died!
Yes.
Let's go! Faith in the game restored. Even Hera couldn't save that guy. More archers coming forward. There's the market. And look at the resources from Hera right now. It is bare bones. Even if he gets up to Castle Age, what is he going to make?
As Italians, I mean, one option might be go heavy on stone, try to get a castle and go Genbo.
Yeah, maybe.
There is that safe stone in the backside of the fractal as the men-at-arms start to pressure that lumber camp. And Hera's just going to keep walling there, not going to let the men-at-arms get to the docking eco and the fish eco.
He also needs to prevent Liereyy from killing his dock, right? So he's going for 1 galley behind this. Castle Age is on the way. 2 fire galleys there from Liereyy. And we saw how much that hurt Hart earlier. When the dock went down, he wasn't paying attention. So
Right.
Hera is going to be locked in on that and making sure that those fires don't get through the dock. Meanwhile, Lierey's economy definitely looking okay for a typical, time on this map, but when your opponent's going fast castle, it puts a lot of pressure on you.
It does, and there we see that galley from Hera. Of course, the fires cannot shoot over the dock, so Liereyy has to add in his own galley then to deal with Hera's galley.
That should be fine. He's got fletching coming in, right? So he should be able to win this 1v1, but there is the villager there to repair.
Right, the repairville there is the difference.
That feels like such a stupid place to micro if you're Liereyy too. Like, he's repairing all the damage. He's going after the villager now, which is probably the smart decision. After he gets the villager, he can just sit kind of back at the range. Great demo from Hera. Wow.
Great demo. It doesn't quite kill everything. Oh, but the galley can snipe off the fire.
Now, Castle Age 50 seconds away for Hera. And he will have enough wood and gold to maybe go for a siege workshop to push this back.
Yeah, we'll see what he does once he gets up. Not going anything on to stone. And just going to keep walling behind the men-at-arms and the archers.
Men-at-arms archers have done quite a bit of damage here, though. Considering he got lane, this has been an excellent build from Liereyy. Yeah. Really, really solid.
Yeah, and you feel like maybe Hera could have used a tower over by that other lumber camp that's being pressured now. I'm a bit curious why he placed that tower foundation by the dock.
I think he had the men-at-arms and archers pushing in, and there was no way for him to go without deleting a dock. He couldn't get out of there. So he placed it, and he didn't want to finish it if the units were going to leave, which they did. So he didn't finish it, still has that gold in the bank if he ever wants to delete that foundation.
I feel like a delete of that foundation and another tower here by this lumber camp might be useful.
He's got the siege workshop, though, right? So he goes for a scorpion, and he goes for the house walls, and Liereyy just making his way in, making his way downtown with these archers. How many weak vills are over here from before? There's quite a few. Hera's got to be careful with these ones. As they come to drop off the wood, they're going to be targets.
Those archers are being trapped, though. He's coming around the back. Hera is walling them in with houses as the scorpion comes over.
Oh my goodness, Hera has made a corridor of death over here for these archers as the scorpion is firing away. You can't micro in there. Even Liereyy can't micro in here. There's no room as the archers go down. What a play from Hera.
This is just an elaborate trap from Hera to take the army out.
Men-at-arms, or man-at-arms, still working away on that house. He can't quite get through, though, and Hera got the War Galley tech as Liereyy has to fight this back with simply feudal age units. Liereyy has so much gold in the bank. He's going for a market right now, but he's still not up to the Castle Age, and Hera has cleared up all the pressure forward.
Now, what do you do from here if you're Hera? It feels like No, the score might have just had Liereyy with a slight lead until he clutched castle. Where does
Add
Hera go
another
from here?
TC.
Add
Yeah,
another TC?
delete the tower foundation, add another TC.
And that's what he gets not by or by not finishing the tower. He can recover the stone that he didn't spend on it and still have the stone for the TC without needing the market.
If he remembers that that tower foundation is there, which I think he does. Yeah, he's deleted it, and there's a second TC right there. Beautiful job from Hera. He's also pushing the dock from Liereyy right now with the upgraded ships. Lierey's got one demo in there. He's going for some fire galleys, and he's got villagers coming out to repair. We've seen it before, that one villager repairing oftentimes is not enough.
And you have to be careful there, because sometimes you send the vill and then you forget about the dock. Because you think you're already repairing it, and then the fires break through.
One thing Liereyy probably could have done a little bit better in this game is adding more fish. He's only got 4 fishing ships so far. I know it's been tough because he's been managing land and water and whatnot, but you got to add those fish when you have the water control and when you have the dock blocking this area off like this.
Okay, and now the war galleys are going to stop the villagers from repairing, so that dock will go down, and go down pretty quickly with all the fires
I
there.
guess it's a good thing he didn't add the fish, because his fish are about to die.
Oh, maybe if he had the fish earlier, he'd be in a better spot.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see what he does, though. He's still 20 seconds away from Castle Age. I think Liereyy is probably going to focus on the land element a little bit more. Galleys being added back there as a monk comes forward from Hera, and Liereyy 7 on stone, 400 stone in the bank. Definitely thinking maybe castle approach.
Where does he put the castle? Does he go forward for it?
No, I don't think you can you? You've seen the monks there? Maybe if you only think it's monks? I mean, there's a siege workshop as well. If Hera isn't really the type of guy to add like a mangonel. He's the type of guy to just keep this one scorpion and put the rest of it into eco, right? So maybe you can go forward.
What's that scorpion see? Does it see all the villagers on the stone? I guess it's a bit too late to see that.
It sees nothing now. As it goes down. Monk bringing the relic back. A forward castle is what I want to see. That's exactly the approach that I want Liereyy to take here. Just, you know, you're behind in this game. You have to know you're behind. You're about to lose the fish. Take a chance. Go for the castle forward. Rely on the fact that Hera has gotten a little bit greedy here.
Rely on the fact that you see so much navy from Hera, and you think he's spending on that, and that he doesn't have the land army with all his eco.
And you know the eco was weak initially in Castle Age, right? He can't have that much. You've already killed the one scorpion. Let's see if Liereyy goes for that approach. Does he send the villagers forward? He's also got scouts here, so he can clear up the monks and get a really good idea
of what
Hera has.
The village is walking forward.
A castle right there. Right there. I don't know if he can fit one on the other side of the stone and the gold. Here comes Liereyy with that forward castle. He can fit it in there, and the scouts are roaming around. That's a lot of farm eco from Hera and an exposed town center, and Hera has no siege. Liereyy has caught him a little bit with his pants down. However, Hera's resources, he might be thinking about going up to Imp. He might be thinking about a defensive castle of his own and then getting Trebs out to push this back from Liereyy.
Yeah, and that's the cheaper Imp of the Italians. They'll let him go up without the same 1,800 gold you normally need. And if he can do that, what is his second building now? He has a workshop.
Ooh, Lierey's in. He's going to get some good scouting info here. Hera blocks him off, but Liereyy can see that Hera is cut through to the outside.
Yep, and now it's all about clicking up to the Imperial Age for Hera.
Yeah, he's thinking about it.
He's
Still
walling
only
him in
9 on
again.
food.
He's walling him in again.
He's walling him in. He's trapped Tato so many times. He's about to trap Liereyy here potentially, but Liereyy, I mean, he kind of gave up on those scouts, figured there was nowhere to go, and now he's just firing away on the TC. He did deny a ton of farm eco there, so Hera has to buy a lot to get up to the Imperial Age, which
There he goes.
Now.
There he goes up to Imp.
Which TC is it from Hera going up to him is my question. Great demo there from Liereyy. It's that one. There is a world in which you petard rush that TC, counting on the fact that it's the Imp TC, because it's the only one else you see. There's a world.
There is
I'm not sure we're living in it.
I don't think that's Lierey's world. I think you and I might be living in that world, but I don't think Liereyy is.
I don't know, man. I guess he did see the other TC on the left side, so maybe it's not the greatest
Take a chance,
idea.
though.
Oh, the scout gets converted. Maybe the relic can block this scout. Maybe it just gets converted back, and then it kills the monk. No! Oh. Scout goes down. Hera takes that one out. And it's a siege workshop from Liereyy to continue this push. However, Hera is 1 minute and 45 seconds away from the Imperial Age, and he certainly has enough resources to get that castle up in time and to get the Trebs out in time.
And this, I guess, at this point has to be an all-in Castle Age push from Liereyy.
Is that the converted scout? It was.
That was.
Oh, it just sniped another monk. Oh, that's a frustrating one.
Converted scouts are valuable.
Yep.
There's a converted
And he gets the
latest.
latest. And does Liereyy get this latest back? No! He doesn't get that one back either.
Oh, the monk RNG favoring Hera
Insta.
here. Getting the instas, managing the monks well, though. As much as they are RNG based, it still takes a lot of skill to get
Yeah, I mean, you saw him
spots.
switching it back and forth between all
Exactly.
of them, right? He was charging up on one, switching it to another. Liereyy, now, I mean, he's got no food, right? He's got 13 on food right now. He has very bare bones economy, no wood, no gold. We compare that to Hera, almost 1,000 wood in the bank, so he can get the farm set up. He's got the castle going up now. Imperial Age is 7 seconds away, and honestly, I can't really see much that Liereyy can do in this situation.
Now there's the Imp. Minginel trying to pick the monks. Might get some vills. But there's the castle.
Yep.
And there's
GG from
GG.
Liereyy. What a performance once again from Hera. Another 3-0 from Hera, and another one that was not easy.
And the result still is a sweep against Liereyy again. And what's that, 7 in a row now against Liereyy?
Yeah, I mean, that is a really incredible performance from Hera. They're going to go have a hug here in the middle of the stage. Hera is 6-0 in this tournament, but honestly, I think he's had one of the hardest runs of any of the players. Because you think about all the games he's played, they have been messy.
That was
man.
a difficult 6-0,
Yeah.
and yet he still has it.
Yep, incredible.